Hello Booktube, it's Louise the Big Head Bookworm. Lovely to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day wherever it is you are and whatever it is you're doing. Hello, hello. How are you? How the devil are you? Are you okay? It's lovely to see you here. I'm endeavouring to speak a bit louder to make the quality a bit better. I've had a lovely comment, or a comment from a lovely subscriber, and it was a lovely comment. I think it was designed to kind of put a point across without hurting my feelings, and never worry, it was perfectly reasonable. Kind of said, could you use a microphone because you are quiet? And that is true. For somebody that is as loud as I am, my videos are a bit quiet. I think it's just the fact that I record on my laptop and the sound isn't that good. I do have a microphone, although right at this moment I have no idea where it is. I couldn't make it work properly. It just didn't see. So what would happen was I use the microphone and it either wouldn't sync with the recording, or it wouldn't record, or it would just get the rustling on my clothes the whole time. I haven't yet managed to make it work for me, but I need to do that. I am aware that I could do with making the sound better in my videos. So I shall speak up today, and hopefully this will be better today, and I will endeavour to remember to speak up, which is the other thing, isn't it? You start with all good intentions and then you forget and I'll go quiet again. So I will endeavour to speak up and be clear so that you can hear me, and I will find the microphone. Really no idea where it is since we've moved, but I will find the microphone and then I will practice with it, and hopefully in the next coming weeks you will see an improvement in the videos. But no offence was taken. It was a very good point, very nicely made, and I do appreciate the fact that you were so nice in making the comment, and yes, I was aware of it. Anyway, moving on. We are in a different room in the house. We are in it's called the spare bedroom. It's not really a bedroom because we don't have a bed in it. Have lots of things. It's a bit of a dumping room. It is primarily supposed to be where I can do crafting, but it also has a bathroom cabinet and many bags and, yes, the ironing board with my calendar, which was, of course, my son's calendar. I put the date on it and everything. So it's a bit of an odd room. It hasn't really got a kind of cohesive sense yet. I haven't decorated in here, haven't sorted it out yet. I have put some things on the wall, which makes me feel happy, but I just thought, well, let's do a different kind of video. Let's do a video where we'll just go through a bookcase. You and I can just go through a bookcase. And actually, I'm now realising I was looking for those books and I found them here. How good is that? That's actually the books that I actually wanted to read one of these books and I didn't know where it was. And I looked for it. Anyway, that's besides the point. I'm now very pleased that we're doing this video. I thought we'd just go through this bookcase. It's a 3-shelf bookcase that's on top of a chest of drawers where I have lots of my quilting, my crafting supplies, and lots of wool, and lots of yarn, and it has various things that have got put on here. And let's go through some of these books. Some of them you will have seen, some of them you won't have seen. It might just give you an idea of kind of books that I have got to read, I kind of a TBR. A lot of these I haven't read, and I've put them here thinking that they'll inspire me and I'll see them. Quite like to have the books I haven't read all together. However, there are some books in here that I have read or I've started and not got on with, and that I do intend to come back to at some point. So it's a bit of a dumping ground, let's be honest. Let's go through it, shall we? They're just a kind of random little booktube video, apropos nothing. It's just sitting down with me talking about books. Okay, I hope that's okay. I hope you're having a good day. Maybe get yourself a drink, and I'll show you some books and you might like them. I will also show you these. These are, I can't remember when I bought them. I bought them for Benedict, our son, but they've migrated into here because I think they're really cute. These are viruses. These are toy viruses. This is Spanish flu. I think they're adorable. So this is Spanish flu, and then we have Black Death. So these are actually what the viruses look like. Obviously they're not made of fur, made of a kind of a, but yes, that's kind of the shape and the colour of the Black Death virus. This is a very interesting virus. As you can see, this is smallpox. There we go. So there we are. So I have some viruses on here. What else do I have? Well, let's go on the first. Let's go on the top shelf, and we will work our way through. Have you got a drink? I haven't, but let's go. Oh, do you know, I've had this book for years. Now, I will endeavour for this booktube video not to be too long. And if I go off on a tangent, just say, okay? So if you find me going off, go, come back. So this was a book I bought. Oh, I think there are quite a lot of these books. Must be 6 or 7 years old. And this is definitely about that time, because this is a couple of houses ago. That's quite often how I know how old my books are. What house was I in? We're not moving for a long time now, because quite frankly we've moved enough. But yes, so this is a mesmerising novel of a woman's journey to protect the fate of her people. It is set in Celtic Britain. This is set a long time ago. Got a map to begin with. It's called Skin by Ilka Tamke. I have no idea why I bought this, but I think I just thought this was, I think I was really into my ancient Britain tales at the time. I think I started, looking at it, I definitely started it and didn't get very far with it. So that's in the started, didn't get very far with book. This, I have numerous copies of this. I have it on my Kindle as well. Jodie Taylor's, just one damned thing after another. This is the first book in the Chronicles of St Mary's, which is a time travel tale. And they are a madcap new slant on history that seems to be everyone's cup of tea. Behind the seemingly innocuous facade of St Mary's, a different kind of historical research is taking place. They don't do time travel. They investigate major historical events in contemporary time. Maintaining the appearance of harmless eccentrics is not always within their power, especially given their propensity for causing loud explosions when things get too quiet. Meet the disaster magnates of St Mary's Institute of Historical Research as they ricochet around history. Now, I know some people absolutely love these books. I started it, as you can see. I did start it. I think it was the tone of it was kind of light-hearted and whimsical to begin with, and I don't do well with light-hearted and whimsical. It's not my favourite kind of tone, so I think I put it down because I was thinking, I thought it was going to be a little bit more serious, but it isn't. It is light-hearted. However, I have it, as I say, in numerous formats, and I do think it will be a good thing to do. I might just have to move my Spanish flu across a little bit, and oh no, here we go. Tim Winton, Cloud Street. I think somebody lent me this many years ago. This is one of my closest friends' favourite books. Cloud Street by Tim Winton, and I was reading books that my friends loved as a kind of way of getting to know them, and this is the other book that's in that way. The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzax. And have I got the other book here in that? No, it must be on another shelf somewhere else. There's another book that I have that I've already bought. I've just never got round to reading them. They're kind of one of those books that these both are books that I kind of think, oh yeah, I'd really like to. I think the bit that put me off the Book Thief, which, let's face it, is a much beloved book, is because it is, the main character is a little girl, and I'm not really into that. But I know it would be brilliant. And this one, my friend that loves this book, she spoke really passionately about it. Maybe I should just read it because it's so beloved. But I really am not. When kind of children are the main characters, it does put me off a little bit. It's not my kind of thing. However, it is narrated by Death, so that would be quite a fascinating book. So The Cloud Street is an Australian novel, if I remember rightly. Yes. Tim Winton is an Australian author, and this is his favourite, one of his most well-known books, and so I need to read it because my friend, who I absolutely love, it's one of her favourite. It is her favourite book, she said, so I should read it. Fated by Benedict Jacker, the first Alex Verses novel. Books this good remind me why I got into the storytelling business in the first place, by Jim Butcher. This is in Camden, North London. This is quite a long series. I think, did I pick this up at a charity shop? I think I might have done. A tangled, mangled junction of train lines. Camden, North London. A tangled, mangled junction of train lines, roads and waterways where minor celebrities hang out with minor criminals and tourists and moody teenagers mingle. In the heart of Camden, where rail meets road meets ley line, you'll find the Arcana Emporium, run by one Alex Versis. Ooh! Now I'm thinking this sounds great. He won't sell you a wand or mix you a potion, but if you know what you're looking for, he might just be able to help. That is, if he's not too busy avoiding his would-be apprentice, foiling the dark, outwitting the light, and investigating a mysterious relic that's just turned up at the British Museum. I'm thinking that actually sounds really good. I'm thinking, why have I not read all of these books before? Moriarty. Sherlock Holmes is Dead and Darkness Falls. Now, this is Anthony Horowitz. The House of Silk, the best-selling, that was where he wrote, with permission from Conan Doyle estate, he wrote sorry, I got distracted then. You were supposed to call me back if I got distracted. Yes, so he wrote The House of Silk, which was a Holmes novel. It was kind of a new Holmes novel with the OK of the Conan Doyle estate. And this is the second in the series, Moriarty. Now, The House of Silk I did have as a hardback. I don't know if I've still got it. It'll be downstairs if I do. But there we go, that's Moriarty. I've never read it. I really enjoyed The House of Silk, so I probably should read that. I really like Anthony Horowitz. This I saw on somebody's channel again years ago, the Apothecary Melcher and the Mystery of St Olaf's Church by Indrek Hagler. I have, and this is it Estonian? Yes, it's Estonian. Yeah, this is an Estonian mystery. Now that's going to be interesting, hasn't it? And it's set in the 15th century. Yeah, got some interesting, good timey-wimey stuff here. I really should read it. Now, The Murder Road by Stephen Booth. Now, I really like, what's his name? Peter Thingy-Thing, who writes the Inspector Banks mysteries. Peter Robinson. This is Stephen Booth, who writes police procedurals set in the Peak District. My mum loved Stephen Booth, and I think it was partly because she knew the area, so she knew the places that he was talking about and she could visualise it, and she loved it. She loved Peter Robinson and she loved Stephen Booth. I have read a Stephen Booth, not this one, but I have read one. I think it was his first, unless this is his first, in which case no, it isn't his first. However, and I didn't adore it. I didn't love it. However, I have got one or two Stephen Booths that I've kind of picked up along the way to try again. So it's a police procedural. The Detective Inspector Ben Cooper is your chap. I think they're much beloved. I think it's, looking at it, there are lots of books. So if we got into it, it'd be a right good series, wouldn't it? Hagseed by Margaret Atwood. I think I got this in a charity shop. I don't know. Love Maggie Atwood. That's looking a bit dusty. Let's just wipe that on my dress. Love Margaret Atwood. This is remake of The Tempest. So it's taking The Tempest. This was in a series of books where people took a Shakespeare play and made a story out of it, and Hagseed by Margaret Atwood. Margaret Atwood was one of those that did it. Can't remember who did the others. The Tempest Retold. It's got to be worth it, hasn't it? So, yeah. Feels a bit worthy. It's probably why I've not read it. Picked this up in Cornwall one time, and it was a real impulse buy. The Compassionate Mind by Paul Gilbert. I've probably had this about 4 or 5 years. Develop your feelings of compassion and increase your sense of well-being. So the Compassionate Mind explains evolutionary and social reasons why our brains react so readily to threats, and reveals how our brains are also hardwired to respond to kindness and compassion. So it is quite a chunky book to deal with about compassion and how to increase your sense of compassion in the world. I thought it was quite fascinating. I've never read it. I've not even tried it. Oh, Sally Brompton. Shoot the Damn Dog. That's a very, very good book about depression from somebody who suffers with depression to the point where she is no longer with us. But Shoot the Damn Dog by Sally Brompton is a very, very good book about depression. If you want to understand depression and how it could lead people to see that the world will be better without them, then that is a very good book to have it. Three Women by Lisa Tadu. Now, I actually don't know what this is about. Well, it's the story of three women, but I remember it having rave reviews when it came out in hardback, and then when I saw it in paperback, I bought it. I kind of wonder whether it's going to be a bit of a brutal read. Has anybody read it? And I kind of almost don't want to know. If you look at it, I mean, it's rave reviews. Rave reviews by lots of people who are very worthy. So yeah, maybe I should just read it. Yeah, maybe I should just read it and then I could tell you what it's about. But I kind of wonder whether it's going to be a bit of a hard read, and I kind of feel like I need to kind of get a bit of fortitude together. Put my Spanish flu over there. And do you have books like that? Do you have books that there are books that you need a certain mood to? You feel like you need to be kind of in a strong place to read them in case. No, a book that says, this book just absolutely devastated me. I don't kind of think that I can pick up on a whim. I feel like I need kind of a bit of, need to be in a good place, feeling well, bit of time to kind of process it, can't just leap into it. That's how I feel about that. These two, I must have picked them up as a set. This is Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind, and Homo Deus, A Brief History of Tomorrow, by Yuval Noah Harari. Am I saying that right? Apologies if I'm not. Yeah, so they're both kind of potted history books and kind of fabulous. Again, need a bit of strength in my. Need to gird my loins a little bit. Got to move my smallpox. Babies' names. This is obviously not a book that I need anymore because I don't have. Not having any more babies, well, that's for sure. Has it got my beloved boy's name in there? Yes, it has. That's obviously why we got it. We got it many, many years ago. Also use it for looking up cats' names. This is 2 books in a series. Peter Hamilton. Oh, proper science fiction. I do enjoy really enjoy Peter Hamilton's books. Chronicle of the Fallers. This is a Commonwealth book, isn't it? So I wonder if I need to read Pandora's Star and Judas Unchained, or whether I can just launch into these. I got them. I think I got these at a charity shop. That one's obviously been read, you can see, and that one hasn't. And it has the feeling of a book that's never been read, whereas this has a feeling of a book that has been read. So this is the first one. The Abyss Beyond Dreams. And it is a science fiction book. To save their civilization, he must destroy it. Yeah, I really should read it. And then this is the second one. Night Without Stars. They're beautiful. They're beautiful books together. And I do really like Peter Hamilton as a science fiction writer. I randomly picked up many, many years ago the Nano Flower, which is in the Greg Mandel series, and he's a kind of a mind reader. He can go into other people's minds. Set in this world, but a few years in the future, after there has been a devastating flood because of global warming. There's been a real change in the makeup of the landscape in this country and all the kind of technology that's gone ahead of it. And that's the Greg Mandel. If you're interested in Peter F. Hamilton and you don't know where to start, the Greg Mandel series, really good. They're kind of murder mysteries, or they're kind of mysteries set in this near future. Mind Star Rising, A Quantum Murder, and the Nano Flower are three. It's best to read them in that order. I didn't, but it's best to read them in that order. I have them all. They're really good. I have also read the Night's Dawn trilogy as well, which is his next set of books. They're huge, but they're really good. So yeah, there we are. That's that top shelf. There we go. I haven't read a single one of those books, and all of them look great. And how are we doing? But you know, I might actually leave it here. Let me quickly show you. Let me quickly show you the books that I actually said. The reason I went, ooh, that's a pin of a I got when I ordered a kit to knit a sweater. Let me show you these as well. These are pins by Laura Crow, who I follow on Instagram, and also she has an Etsy shop. But she had the most devastating fire and lost a lot of her stock. But I bought these because I was in the crowdfunder to help her start, and I got these most beautiful pins. She does a lot of the golden age of crime and the kind of 1920s, 1930s. She does all of it herself. You get kind of wrapping paper and cards. They're just gorgeous. She's also an actress. She's a phenomenally talented lady, Laura Crow, if you're interested in following her. So yeah, so that's that pin. So that's the Queen of Crime. Right, there you go. And then this is all the poisons, which as somebody who's in pharmacy, I can appreciate. I have a key ring of that on my car keys. So I really fancied, for some reason, I started thinking about Tammy Hogue. Yeah. And I thought, oh my gosh, I really fancy reading, in particular, this book, Night Sins. Because there's a scene in it where she has a migraine, and it's one of the few books where I've read somebody describe a migraine, and I think she must have migraines because she describes it incredibly well. And I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, I haven't read any Tammy Hogue for years and years. And I thought, I really enjoyed them. They were really good thrillers with a bit of sauce in them. Since the publication of her first book in 1988, Tammy Hogue has penned 23 books. And this was reissued in 1990. This was first came out in 95. and I think I got it as a paperback in '96. So I think I think it's, you know, it's that long ago, 26 years I've had this book. I've read it and read it. I used to read it quite regularly, actually. It's really good. The only thing is that this starts off with boys getting taken, and that always, you know, when you've got a son, you're a bit like, ugh. But I think it's I could read this. I might read this. This might be my next book. Have a little cheeky reread, and then this is the second, Guilty as Sin. So the first book is Night Sins, and the second book is Guilty as Sin. And then I've got the next two books that follow it. I've got that downstairs. So I might actually, yeah. A Thin Dark Line and Ashes to Ashes. So yeah, I think I might actually. Might give this a cheeky little read. So yeah, so those are the two books. I was searching for them downstairs, and they weren't downstairs, they were up here. So I'm actually going to take Night Sins, put that by the side of the bed to remind me that that's the book I was going to read. So I'll carry on from there, actually, another time. We'll go through some more books. Some of the books I have read, I'm looking to see. I have read these two, Sarah parentheses. I have read some of the books down here, so that's good. So there are some books that I've read, so I can actually tell you what they're like, rather than a whole shelf of books that I haven't read and should read. And there we go, Booktube. It's a bit of a different one, but I thought we would go for it. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've maybe seen a book there that you quite like, or maybe you've seen a book that you've read and that you could sell to me. You could sell with your words. Did I manage to keep my voice up the whole way through? No, I don't think I did. So I do apologise with the sound again. It's a work in progress. Must remember to speak up. Yeah. Anyway, I found the book that I was looking for, so that's good. So that's a good thing. Yeah, hope you're well. Hope you're well and you're enjoying whatever season you are in. If you're in... We're having a heck of a summer. It's lovely at the moment. It's really sunny, but it's not super warm. It's definitely late summer. We've had the second heat wave, and I don't think we're going to have another heat wave. We might have an Indian summer, which means that the sunshine might continue, but then you get the cool evenings as well. But it's lovely today. Lovely blue sky with fluffy clouds. Not too hot, although it's a bit warm in here at the moment. Yeah, there we go. This has been lovely, Booktube. Let's do it again. Bye.